All right, my name is Christian. I've recently been researching a little bit about nanotechnology in the animal kingdom. I've been studying a little bit about how it affects our daily life when it comes in terms of our sports equipment, with our military. Some of the interesting findings I've been discovering have to do with how the animal kingdom has been affected by the same principles that we apply with our nanotechnology. One of the really important ones that is seen all throughout the animal kingdom, regardless of their species, whether it be an amphibian, mammal, fish, reptile, is the principle of friction. One really common one is the gecko, but I wanted to take a little bit of time and talk about how friction affects the way that snakes move. An interesting study that I was reading the other day talks about how snakes both use two different things to move across the ground. They use the redistribution of their weight, and they also use friction. The way this works is they've got little tiny flat scales on the bottom of their bodies that they will redistribute their weight and use the friction that is provided by the scale on the flat ground to shift and move uh, along their way. One of the other examples that I've seen that is kind of like an opposing way that friction is applied is the way that fish use friction, or the lack of friction that they try to look for, to ensure that they can swim as effectively as they can to use the least amount of energy possible. Fish have actually developed a slimy mucus like um, a slippery mucus that is on them that enables them to actually swim faster because there's not as much resistance of the water on their scales. This allows them to slip through, move more effectively and quickly, as they don't need the same kind of friction to move as a snake does. So that was two different ways that I've seen that friction affects the movement of animals in the animal kingdom.